anything you guys want to let ladies know about breakups when they think about breaking up with dudes or how dudes are feeling during a breakup? Y'all can say it now.
Just
If
be
you,
very sure. Be very sure before you
I
break
was
up.
just about to say, yeah, if you're gonna break up with a man, make sure that's what you want to do, because if you get him back, you might not get the same version, or you might not get him back at all. So
Hmm. And don't think that there's out there better. Like a lot of women make the mistake, and men too, but we're talking about for the women. They make the
Mm.
mistake of, thinking that guys, because they, women always getting, attention thrown at them, and they don't realize that, yeah, these guys are sending you attention, but this man is actually in a relationship with you. These guys, more than likely, they just want to smash.
Welcome back, everyone. We still got these great team on the line with us tonight. Listen, man, um, from a woman's perspective, a lot of times when we break up with someone and our girlfriends break up with someone, we're crying, we're putting those subliminal messages on social media. Like we can really tell and experience that the woman is going through like a breakup. It really hurts. But from our side, when we look at the man, it's like it seems like men have this strength about them or this capability to just be callous. Like it seems to us, we don't really see that they're going through the same emotion. So now that I have all these men on the line, I want to know from your side for women to understand what is the process for a man if he breaks up with a woman, and I guess we could talk about who breaks up with who. But after a breakup, like what is going on in a man's minds? What is he going through? Like, tell me. We need to know, guys.
I guess it depends on who broke up with who, and depends,
Okay.
and I guess it depends on the reason. Um, I mean, men don't typically wear our emotions on our sleeves. Don't Not typically. So in a relationship breakup, let's say if I broke up with a girl, then I have a reason. I'm not gonna really feel too bad about it. In fact, sometimes I'm like, Hallelujah, this is done. But I mean, but it's not. I wouldn't show that glee. I'll just be like, yes, I'm just free from that. But there has been times when I was broken up with that it was like, wow, well, what happened? Well, I mean, I'm still not going to be crying or nothing. I mean, because I'll probably be kind of like wondering what's going on. But the process for me is, if I'm breaking up, is there's a reason, and I just want you to find your person. And eventually, if a girl breaks up with me, which hasn't happened in a while, um, I'm just kind of like, wow, what happened? Just explain it to me. I mean, I'm okay with you being free, but what happened? And then you explain it to me. It's like, okay, well, have a nice laugh.
What? And even a woman you really, really love, that's how you're gonna feel?
Yeah, because
Wow.
yeah, I mean, go say, okay, so if I really, really love her
Yeah.
and I broke up with her, then
Yeah, or
something,
vice
something,
versa.
then something happened for me to like to for
Disconnect.
that to end. I
Mhm.
was talking to my friend about this. Okay, so here's so here's a real quick story. I was with this girl, and she we were just really in love. Didn't stand to be away from each other. Long story short, we had a disagreement, and I didn't know that her father was abusive to her mother. So every time we would have some real stern convers not stern convers some intense fellowship, she was knuckling up. And I was like, well, wait a minute, why we got to go there? And she's like, you ain't nobody gonna do me like my father did my mother. I'm like, hold on, what's the deal? So what made me kind of snap out of love is one day we were talking about finances and stuff, and she called the police and told them that I hit her. And I'm like, I didn't touch her. And I had to explain to the police, I didn't touch her. So that just broke any trust, that broke any love. And so when I we broke it off, I was like, hallelujah, because imagine having to deal with that in a marriage situation. So,
Woo!
I mean, if I'm breaking up, something had to happen.
Listen,
Ooh,
Gone.
I we could be, dating, married for 50 years. You call the police on me, it's over. I don't
Yeah.
oh
care
my
how long we I
gosh!
don't care how long we've been together.
Sure, for sure.
That's
That's
it.
crazy.
Yeah, in this day and age, that's a killer.
Yes.
You can get that man killed. So yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
oh my God! So guys, I need to hear from y'all. Are y'all? Tell me, what's how do y'all feel after a breakup and your friends that you've been around? Like, is it like Aaron, where it's like, okay, hey, didn't work out, or are y'all hollering? What is it?
He must not have been in love with her, because I'm telling you, if first of all, I think men rarely break up with women that they're in love with. Like in love with, that to me that would be a hard thing, because men stay in relationships even if they're unhappy.
100%.
Yeah, I think so. So unless there's a lot of relationships that are really not relationships, they're only relationships because the woman kind of forced the relationship by, constantly nagging this man. Where, what are we? Where are we going? And rather than lose his easy access to, some, he just goes ahead and just reluctantly gets into a relationship. And so like that relationship, when it's time to part ways, like he really never loved you. But if a man, especially like if a man really is in love with you, and that guy is, trust me, this guy is devastated. I'm speaking from experience.
And I'm gonna hop on real quick. I can speak from experience as well. If a man is really in love with a woman and there's a breakup, it's gonna hurt him really, really badly. Now, men don't show their emotions outwardly as much as women do. Women are much more effusive with that type of display. Men will more so keep it inside, maybe talk to one close brother about it if he talks about it at all. But for the most part, he's probably going to keep it internally and put on a good face for everybody. But because as men, we're taught to be strong, to put our best foot forward and show that leadership and strength. And I still say that is a good thing. I don't recommend men to go crying to definitely not women. And if anything, another brother that you trust, your close brothers that you can count on, I think they might be able to bear it because they understand as a man, but definitely not to a woman. I think that's a recipe for disaster. But I think what you see is that men are, I think, commitment oriented. So when they get into something that's good, they're gonna try to hold on to it for as long as they can. When we look at the divorce rate in this country, I think it's 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
80. Yeah.
Is it 80 now? Okay,
Yeah, it's 80, and it's 90 if she is college educated.
Yes, it's even higher if they're college educated. So what you see more often is women breaking up with men, not the other way around, because I think there's some valid reasons for that. There might be some more at stake with a woman, if she's pregnant and she needs a man to take care. She needs a good man. I understand that. But there are a lot of other reasons why women break up with men that are not always the best. But yet it happens. And, the man is left there to try to pick up the pieces. And so, yeah, I think if a man breaks up, like kind of how Aaron was describing his situation, that was a very, specific situation where, like he said, he felt like he dodged a bullet, which you're not going to feel any kind of, be like, dang, like, I can't believe it ended like that. But at the same time, I'm glad I'm out of that because it could have been much worse. But if the man was in love with a woman, it's going to hurt him for a while to get over that. It's going to take a while.
Oh, okay. Now let me tell you, because I'm
Each his
gonna
own.
every time this statistic come up about why women are divorcing men, this 80%. Look, we need to look more into the study as to why. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this disclaimer out there because I know oftentimes in relationships, sometimes men don't want to be the bad guy. So they do stuff, and then women ultimately are the ones who have to say, okay, let's call it quits. So I do want to put a disclaimer that when we put these statistics out there, we do need to look more into it as to the reasoning, okay?
Right.
But I do want
Go ahead and campaign for your women.
Irreconcilable differences, the most generic reason ever.
Yeah, right. Right.
He was toxic. That's what it is now. He was
it was
toxic.
toxic.
You don't like my
wow,
mama.
So Dad and DTH say the guy is broken up. Aaron's like, what do you say, Fortunato and James?
I mean, I don't know. I think it could go different ways. I mean, I think for me, like if I'm breaking up with a woman that I was in love with, at first I'm gonna feel like it was nothing. You're gonna try to shake it off for a few days. You're gonna feel like, oh, you back out here, like whatever. But then after a week or two go by, especially like if y'all was in deep, you're gonna really start feeling it. At least, for me, and for a little bit. And then, you're gonna go through it, you're gonna go through the, how I feel. And for most men, like you try to keep that to yourself. You don't even let your boys know, like, most of the time. If y'all break up, it's because they kind of like find out or they knew y'all was dating type
Ooh.
thing. Like you're not gonna really tell them like, yeah, we, especially if it was bad. Like, they just gonna have to find out. But yeah, it's definitely you're gonna feel it for a little bit.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
James, tell me, and then I'll ask some follow-up questions.
I'm gonna be hurt. Like I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not telling everybody, but I'm gonna just deal with the hurt. Like I may call my best, somebody that I'm really close to, and tell them how I'm feeling, tell them what's going on. But nah, I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna be out here just bouncing it off. Nah, I'm gonna be hurt.
So what's the process of healing? Like you guys say the guy keeps it internally. Like, does that then become some kind of depression? Or is it after some time they're like, okay, I let it go? Do they ever let it go? Like, or is it just, okay, now this is a hurt guy that's really defensive and not really opening his heart again? Like, what's the process? Do men really heal? How do they get over this? You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah, I
everybody.
don't know if it. My bad. Go ahead, Lamp.
Oh no, I was just saying. I mean, for every man, it's gonna be different. You got some men who take that hurt and they pass it on to other women and continue to hurt them. So it just everybody deal with it differently.
What do you guys think?
I
So
don't.
in your so talk about your experience then. When you guys were hurt, did you ever get over it or do you feel like that made you more defensive with women in the future? Do you feel like what helped you get over it or what was your process of getting over it? Or do you feel like, hey, I really didn't get over it? What was your personal experience in those cases?
I mean, I think you do get over it, but I think you take things from that and you apply it as rules as a man. Like, okay, because this happened last time, if this happens next time, I already know this is a red flag. Like, we're not going no further than where we are right now. So, like, I think you definitely get over it, and I think as a man too, just just speaking in general, like it helps to replace and keep that moving because I mean, just to be real, just to keep it real, like the least amount of time you by yourself wallowing in your thoughts before you meet somebody new, the better for you as a man sometimes. So
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was broken up with before, and I waited way too long to try to like date again because I was just it really hurt. And so I think you can heal with time because I did. My circumstances are a little different, but over time you do heal. And I think for me, I think what I realize is that okay, it's kind of like they say if they leave you and they come back, then it's real or something like that. Uh, it basically they're free to make that decision, right? Like if you guys weren't married, or even if you are married, like that's their decision. And it's like, I guess not just realizing they have the choice to make, they weren't yours yet if before your marriage. So they have that, it all the way up until the altar, they have the choice to say no. So I guess it's just realizing, hey, they made a decision that they think was best for themselves. And how can I fault somebody for making a decision that they thought was the best move for them? It's like, if that's what you thought is the best thing for you, I can't fault you for that. So I think when I kind of realized that is where I kind of let it go. I'm like, all right, it's not, it wasn't that she was intentionally, I'm going to do this to hurt him. It was, I'm going to do this because I think it's what's best for me right now. So when you realize that, I think you can kind of move on.
Mm. So Thaddeus and Aaron, what was your healing process, or do you feel like you really was challenging to move on? What do you guys think?
I don't think it was challenging to move on per se, but I think like some experiences it just taints your view of the world, right? And especially if you like if you were somewhat naive, and you didn't see this coming, and you maybe thought like, love is forever, and there's no love like this love, and like this is something so special, and it doesn't work out, and then you kind of get a cold dose of reality. So I wouldn't say like you're hurt or you're bitter or anything, but you definitely approach every other situation with just a little bit more caution.
Mhm.
And I
I
think
would,
that's the wise thing to do. Is like, I don't understand how some people just run from relationship to relationship with the same gusto that they just came from the it's like, and it's like, did you not learn anything? And
mhm.
it's like, no, but you like, you have to give love a try. And it's like, nah, I get it, but not like that. Like, you have to learn some lesson in life. It's like if you were riding a bike, you fell down. It's like you get up. Yes, you need to get back up on the bike, but you also need to figure out, all right, why did I fall? Did I take this corner too fast? Did I squeeze the front brakes and went flipping over the handlebar? What did I do that caused me to fall and hurt and be hurt?
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, everybody has their own process. For my experience, if I remember being uh in a relationship and it ended, it I don't want to call myself hurt, but it was a sad period. But I didn't. I guess my personality is like, all right. I mean, that's over. We did it. We had fun. I just kind of move on. It took a while to kind of wear off, but I was just ready to start over.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being so open about your experiences. Because to me, that's really helpful to viewers. And that's something that they do enjoy about watching the show, people telling their real experiences.
Mhm.
So you guys are missing her, thinking about her while you're in the breakup. So guys aren't, just these callous beings that aren't affected emotionally by breakups. They do feel, but it's just that it looks like you guys internalize it more so than we do. So the question is now, because some women thinking like, hey, man, I really still love my baby daddy. He's the only one I ever loved. I really want to get back with him. If a guy breaks up with a woman, I think one of you guys mentioned how most of the times if a guy breaks up, like it's really a big deal. Like you guys are really committed. It's something huge that she did. Can a woman get a guy back if he broke up with her?
If she called the police on me, oh no, oh no way.
She she can get them back, but she's not gonna get the same version.
Ooh!
Oh,
Yeah, pretty
oh,
much. Yeah.
That's a good line there.
yeah.
Yeah, I think if he breaks up, like I said, I think men will more try to stay in a relationship and make it work, and even deal with some bad things just for the sake of staying in the relationship. So if he gets to the point he wants to break up, it's gonna be really, really hard for her to win him back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. And what about the flip in reverse? Like, do you guys resent women that may have broken up with you and then come back at some later point and try to make it work? Like, is there some resentment and some, okay, I might, but let me get that payback in. She ain't gonna know. I'm gonna do this little something. Gotta get that payback in. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
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 So
Ain't
let me
nobody got
say
time for
real
that.
quick. So for me, I mentioned there was someone broke up with me. Now this same person is who I'm engaged to right now. So
Mm.
we dated for a time. She broke up with me. We spent some time apart, and then I guess it's about 2 years ago now, in like May or June. She reached back out to me, and we had a conversation about where we were at and things like that. And I had always, like I said, this is the girl I knew I loved. So I had a soft spot in my heart to hear her out. And so for me, it was her coming to the realization of, it, 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 this is what she wants and this is what she needs. Right. And I think her doing that is what enabled me to kind of, I guess, open myself up again to, okay, it wasn't just, and even she, she explained that even though we broke up, that, it was hard for her as well. So it wasn't just like she went to go date a bunch of other guys or something like that during the time apart. So, I think for me that's what really helped in allowing, the relationship to come back. But I do
Mm.
think it can be problematic, if I think the circumstances matter. If she is just somebody who's flighty and just looking for a good time, and not really grounded, and then now she wants to come back because you were the best thing available. Like I'll admit, like that was a thought in my head, is like, is it just because you feel like you're not finding anything else better out there, so let me just go back to what was kind of good. That's a thought that happens. So it's like, it's a conversation we had to have. And she's a Christian woman, obviously, because I'm not messing with someone who's not a Christian. And so we prayed about it and everything like that, and it was able to work out. And now we're engaged. But I think it's possible, but she has to come correct. Especially if she's the one who broke it up and you didn't want it. She has to come correct in recognizing where she made a mistake, and wants to continue the relationship further.
Ooh, thank you, David. What y'all think about that? Come on now, look at Thaddeus' face.
I think David is. I think you need to edit some of that out.
Why?
Because if his fiance hears some of this, it's gonna be a problem in your house, bro. Before the
What's
marriage
the
even
Come
problem?
starts.
correct. What you mean? Come
Yeah,
correct.
yep. That one line right there. I was thinking it. It's like, what you mean come correct, bro? You're about to get a broomstick broken across your back, bro. She gonna show you come correct.
So what about y'all? Are y'all gonna resent her or anything if she tries to get back with you? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I don't think I would take somebody back. Before we broke up, because I had that same situation. That happened to me. Somebody broke up with me, and then they try to come back later. But I'm like, listen, even while we were trying to, I was, begging and pleading with you. I gave you all the reasons why we should stay together, and you were like, nah. So you made your choice, and live with it.
Oof. All
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't bother with anybody that broke up with me, because obviously you had a reason. So I wasn't measuring up. So to come back is like sound like you're settling, for
Yeah,
something that
like,
you didn't want before. So move on and find your
So it
person.
doesn't matter what the reason was, Aaron. You gotta go hear her out. What if she has a good reason, like David?
give me a good reason.
Yeah, give us a good reason. Exactly. What is a good reason?
Give me a good reason why you broke up with me. Give me a really good reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I'm gonna think in my head? You thought you could do better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm gonna be like Thanos when Thanos told them,
Yeah.
where did that bring you?
Yeah.
It brought you right back to me.
I mean, no, but I think the circumstances definitely matter though, because like if it was like, it just depends on what we broke up about. If it was something slight and we just kind of like went our own ways, you know what I'm saying, or we just kind of like moved apart, or you moved and relocated to another job and we just kind of like lost touch. Like there's always opportunities to kind of bring those together. But like to DTH point, like if you like been living your best life, so to speak, with just different guys in between, like it's not gonna work for me, because always in the back of my mind I'm gonna think like you got one of these links that they ain't disconnect that you done brought over back with you. So as long as it ain't one of those circumstances, like I think it can be areas where we can kind of mesh and come back together in certain circumstances.
See, that's very interesting. Okay, so wow, I'm loving to hear everybody's perception on this. So it's very interesting. So again, for the women watching and people viewing online, now we get to hear about men, how they feel during a breakup. So when he's sitting down there wondering, is he really miss me? Do I really have a chance with him? Now you guys hear from these men. So we're going to close out now. Anything you guys want to let ladies know about breakups when they think about breaking up with dudes, or how dudes are feeling during a breakup? Y'all can say it now.
Just
If
be
you-
very sure. Be very sure before you
I was just about to say, yeah, if you're gonna break up with a man, make sure that's what you want to do, because if you get him back, you might not get the same version, or you might not get him back at all. So
And don't think that there's out there better. Like a lot of women make the mistake, and men too, but we're talking about for the women. They make the mistake of thinking that guys, because women always getting attention thrown at them, and they don't realize that, yeah, these guys are sending you attention, but this man is actually in a relationship with you. These guys, more than likely, they just want to smash.
Mm.
And so you leave your nice relationship to go out there, you get dogged out, and now it didn't work out because you realize that he didn't want anything past what the physical was, and then now you want your family back, you want your husband. It's like that's a risk. So I don't think that that's worth it. Or if you think that you're ready to part ways, understand that you might not never be able to go back.
Okay.
Well, I might be stating the obvious, but if he's hitting you, break up with him. If he has addictions, break up with him. Break up with him. If he's doing anything that's abusive mentally and all of that, break up with him. Now that's set aside. We're gonna put that aside. But if that's some personality issues, if you feel like these are irreconcilable, then you may want to have a talk about parting ways. But my whole thing is don't hold on to someone who, number one, is dragging you down, number two is stringing you along, number three. And I when I met my girl, I would put my phone, when we went out to dinner, I just leave my phone on the table and go to the bathroom just to let her know I have nothing to hide. I just want you to, if a guy, you've never seen his phone, you can't hold his phone, you've never been over his house, and if you say you're coming over, he's, oh, wait a minute, let me do something. He's taking down pictures. Break up. Just break up. I mean, pay attention to the red flags.
Well, wait a minute. What if his house not clean? What if he just want to clean up a little bit?
Yeah, that's different. That's different. But he ain't got to clean up every time she want to come over.
leave that phone on the table at the restaurant when you got 2-factor authentication on it, so you good regardless.
Oh, oh man. Thank you guys all again so much. This was a really good conversation. I loved it. Any other final words before we sign off here? Again, everyone watching, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Guys who are watching, comment. Let me know if you're agreeing with these guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You're watching us every week. Commit. Just click that subscribe button and also get notified of when we have new episodes that come out. Don't forget to check everyone out. Everyone, say real quick again, where can they find you guys? Aaron, go.
Aaron Gladman. The podcast is The Man Cave on Facebook and YouTube.
Perfect. Go ahead, James.
Instagram, conversations_with_Lant. Facebook, Conversations with Lant. Podcast.
Yes.
Cloud.
Fortunato and DTH, tell me.
Hold Your Point Podcast every Tuesday, everywhere online. You can find us, Hold Your Point Podcast. That's what it is.
All right, thank you. Oh, and Thaddeus, you'll find him here on My Comfy Couch every now and then.
Yep.
Okay, thank you all again, and we'll see you next time on My Comfy Couch. Toodles.